This is the QTV Nightly News, which is also on Q Radio 103.3 FM, and I am Mamna Bukar. Thank you for joining us. Here are the headlines. In fulfillment of a pledge made in November 2025, the Q Group, through its chairman, Mohamed Jah, today presented to the Ministry of Higher Education with checks worth $15 million to support higher education, research and innovation in the Gambia. Authorities in the Gambia have intercepted more than 780 irregular migrants in January so far, with the month not even halfway through at 3 different locations in the country. The European Union, in partnership with Catholic Relief Services, the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, and the Gambia Federation for Persons with Disabilities, today launched the Disability Inclusive Pathways Project in the Gambia. The West Africa Coastal Areas Resilience Investment Project 2, WACA, has handed over research materials and equipment to the University of the Gambia to support local research addressing flooding, erosion and pollution along the Kotu stream. In sports news, after a Tuesday tour of Independence Stadium by stakeholders and the media to review ongoing renovations, we highlight key upgrades to prepare the venue for domestic and international matches. Those were the headlines. Now the news in detail. Now, in fulfillment of a pledge made in November 2025, the Q Group, through its chairman, Mohamed Jah, today presented to the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology with checks worth $15 million, providing a major financial boost to support higher education, research and innovation in the Gambia. Aliou Cissé reports.
The Quantum Net Institute of Technology to donate $5 million to the research fund. I will also commit Ajib Bank to donate $5 million to the revolving fund. Ask QCell to donate $5 million to our fund.
That was a moment on the 12th of November 2025 when the Q Group's chairman, Mohamed Jah, made this surprise announcement. The contribution comprises $5 million each for the Student Revolving Loan Scheme, the Tertiary and Higher Education Trust Fund, and the National Research and Innovation Fund, donated by QCell, QuantumNet, and Ajib Bank, three of the many companies under the Q Group. The donation is meant to support the government's newly established tripartite higher education funds aimed at transforming the education landscape through the expansion of access to university education for qualified students who cannot afford the cost, drive impactful research aligned with national priorities, and tackle long-standing structural challenges in the higher education sector. Speaking at the event, Mohamed Jah, chairman of the Q Group, who is also the chairperson of the Tertiary and Higher Education Trust Fund, reaffirmed the Q Group's commitment to supporting national development through education, describing it as an investment in the country's future human capital. He called on the private sector and development partners to support the initiative to unlock the potential of young people, thereby empowering them.
Supporting these funds is therefore not charity, and I repeat, it's not charity. It's a strategic national building. Let this moment signal a culture where investing in knowledge is seen as investing in prosperity, dignity, and national progress. Q Group is proud to be part of this journey, and we look forward to seeing the ideas, innovations, and leaders that will rise from these investments.
Professor Per Gomez, the Minister for Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, welcomed the fulfillment of the pledge as a timely one that will strengthen higher education financing, promote research and encourage innovation across the country. While encouraging all to emulate the likes of Chairman Jah and the Q Group, he promised that the funds will be put to good use. He expressed appreciation to the Q Group.
Today is a day of celebration. Today is a day where we celebrate excellence, but a day where we celebrate generosity, a day where the Sunyubos philosophy manifests itself for the glory of the Gambian people. Today is a great day. What we are witnessing today is a reaffirmation of a national purpose, a collective responsibility and enlightened partnership in service of the Gambian future.
Dr. Sambaba, the Executive Director of the Students Revolving Loan Scheme, Dr. Jojo Ndur Tambidu, the Executive Director of the Tertiary and Higher Education Trust Fund, and Professor Mamadou Salah, the Executive Director of the National Research and Innovation Fund, respectively, also joined the Minister in thanking the Q Group.
We cannot continue to hope that our education on the continent will be funded by taxpayers in Europe and the West.
These funds could have been invested elsewhere. However, you have decided to make a patient investment in our youth, our communities, our families, and the future of our nation.
What Mr. Jah has done is not only good corporate social responsibility, but it shows a deep understanding of the Gambia's development trajectory.
Mukhtar M.Y. Dabo, Deputy Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, said the event is more than just handing checks, but a strong demonstration of a shared partnership between government and private sector. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cissé.
Authorities in the Gambia have intercepted more than 780 irregular migrants in January so far, with the month not even halfway through at 3 different locations. All of those attempting the perilous journey to Europe via Spain's Canary Islands, highlighting growing concerns about the country's role as West Africa's migration transit hub. In this special report, Yafatu Gay delves into the detail behind the headlines of this phenomenon.
Seems the Gambia's reputation as an easy place from which to embark on these journeys has spread beyond its borders. This is reflected in the nationalities of recently intercepted individuals. According to officials, those detained included 223 migrants from Senegal, 197 Gambians, 176 Guineans, and 148 Malians, and 1 individual from Comoros, which is in the Indian Ocean, underscoring the multinational nature of the movement. This also implies that the organizers of such trips now advertise their services far and wide. One of the most recent interceptions were at Kamalo near Denton Bridge in the Carnifin municipality, where over 100 migrants were stopped. Immigration officers reported that only 1 person among them was Gambian. The latest operations came just after tragedy struck along the Gambian coast on New Year's Eve, when a migrant boat capsized in the Atlantic Ocean, killing more than 30 people. The incident has renewed fear about the dangers of the Atlantic migrant route, widely regarded as one of the world's deadliest, as migrants attempting the journey in overcrowded, ill-equipped and often dilapidated boats. In response to the search, Gambian authorities say they have activated special operation teams to respond decisively to the growing number of attempted departures. This has included engaging communities such as Jinak, which are reputed to be popular departure points. Officials believe the spike reflects a wider regional trend as tens of thousands of mostly young West Africans continue to risk their life in search of better economic opportunities in Europe. Concerns have also been raised about the country's legal framework to arrest and prosecute those responsible for organizing and profiting from these irregular journeys. Currently, the Gambia has no law that prosecutes those responsible for facilitating irregular migration, a gap that critics say limits enforcement efforts. Addressing these concerns, Hulay Jallo, Deputy Director General of the Gambia Immigration Department, confirmed that legislation governing irregular migration is under review and expressed hope that it will soon become a law.
In furtherance to this, the immigration bill has already been reviewed at the level of the cabinet, and final compilation at the Ministry of Interior is ongoing. We are optimistic that very soon the bill will be passed into the parliament. Thus, when passed into law, we will have a greater power to be able to halt irregular migration through prosecution and conviction of offenders.
Although most of those making these risky journeys are young people, there seem to be no other single, identifiable or ununifying factor. Many of those doing so are unemployed, but many of those who drowned or went missing recently were in employment. As migration pressures intensify across West Africa, the developments in the Gambia reflect both desperation driving young people to leave and the mounting challenges facing authorities struggling to balance border control, humanitarian concerns, and regional cooperation. Reporting for QTV News, this is Yafa Tugay.
The European Union, in partnership with Catholic Relief Services, the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, and the Gambia Federation for Persons with Disabilities, has launched the Disability Inclusive Pathways Project in the Gambia. Jacqueline Coley attended the launch and filed this report.
In the Gambia, children with disabilities encounter major barriers to education such as stigma, limited physical access to schools, inadequate assistive devices, and insufficient teacher training and resources for inclusive learning. The initiative aims to empower children with disabilities by promoting inclusive education and social integration. It also seeks to strengthen disability inclusion education through teacher and administrative training, the establishment of inclusive education support centers, and upgraded school infrastructure to increase enrollment and retention of children with disabilities in mainstream schools. Dr. Amulai Toure, Country Manager of the Catholic Relief Services (CRS), emphasized the significance of the project to CRS and its impact on advancing inclusive education and opportunities for children with disabilities.
CRS, we firmly believe that every child, regardless of ability, has the right to quality education, opportunity to grow, and safe space where they can thrive and reach their full potential. This project reflects that commitment to placing children with disability, both boys and girls, at the center with a strong focus on inclusive education, technology, and the powerful role of play in learning and development.
Dr. Abibatu Drame, Gambia's Minister of Basic and Secondary Education, highlighted the importance of the project.
Today's launch is a historic moment for all these partners that are involved. It is a moment to collectively pursue an inclusive and equitable education system to ensure that access to education in the Gambia is for all.
His Worship, Muhammad Kurubali, Chairman of the Gambia Federation of the Disabled, encouraged persons with disabilities to unite and actively work towards changing the narratives of exclusion.
As persons with disabilities, we have realized notably that so long as we continue to exist, we must be included in the society, included in all development processes, decision-making processes, programming, planning, policy making, etc.
The EU Ambassador to the Gambia, Immaculada Roca E. Cortez, stressed that the inclusion of persons with disabilities is vital, highlighting that effective and well-implemented policies are key to achieving meaningful participation and empowerment.
But unless policies or legislations are translated into action, impact will be limited and non-sustainable. There is a need for adequate budgetary allocations that benefit people living with disabilities. There is a need to support schools and teachers who work with children with disabilities. There is also a need to support families. There is a need to ensure that key institutions are adequately financed and staffed.
The project, set to directly benefit 13,328 participants and indirectly reach 93,296 others, aims to make schools more accessible, provide assertive devices, raise awareness of disability rights and inclusion, and create income-generating opportunities for parents and caregivers. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jacqueline Coley.
We will now go for a commercial break. When we return, we have more local and sports news stories. Do stay tuned.
Good health starts with what is on your plates. That is why the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, and the Ministry of Health have partnered to develop the food-based dietary guidelines to help us meet our nutritional needs. promote health, and prevent disease. Want to boost your health? Add more legumes and nuts to your daily meals. The FAO and the Ministry of Health recommend eating 3 servings every day. Before cooking, sort out any stones or spoiled beans. And remember, do not peel your beans. Cooking them thoroughly reduces any gas-producing effects. Roast or boil nuts well before enjoying them. They are packed with nutrients that support a healthy lifestyle. Make legumes and nuts a part of your daily diet for energy, health, and a balanced meal. Eat legumes and nuts daily. Follow the food-based dietary guidelines for a healthier Gambia.
Welcome back, and this is QTV News. The West Africa Coastal Areas Resilience Investment Project 2, WACA, has handed over research materials and equipment to the University of the Gambia to support local research addressing flooding, erosion, and pollution along the Kotu stream. Julden Jai has more.
Donated materials include essential tools for mapping, measurement, documentation, photography, and design analysis such as dumping level, total station, A3 color printer, hygrometer, and other equipment necessary for high-quality field research. The research materials are intended to support evidence-based solutions to the challenges affecting the Kotu stream. The Kotu stream is a significant, often flood-prone waterway in the Gambia's Greater Banjul area, flowing from Nemakunku to the Atlantic Ocean, known for its rich bird life and mangroves, but also facing pollution and urban encroachment, which has led to a major restoration efforts by the WACA project to improve drainage and create recreational areas. The handover signifies the implementation of a Memorandum of Understanding signed in October 2025 between WACA and UTG, outlining a framework for joint research on the stream. Under the MOU, WACA provides funding, research equipment, software, and logistical support, while UTG takes the lead in implementation through a hands-on, project-based learning approach involving lecturers, teaching assistants, and students. The 11.2-kilometer urban watercourse is home to more than 200,000 people and remains a key focus of WACA's resilience-building efforts in the Gambia. The partnership also prioritizes placing communities along the Kotu stream at the heart of knowledge generation by documenting their experiences, historical land use, and environmental changes. Dr. Mohamed Lamin Sanyang, WACA project coordinator, highlighted that the handover represents an important milestone for the project.
We have already recruited a consultant to conduct a detailed engineering design. But we thought it is wise to use our own researchers, our future designers, to engage them in this particular process. So here, we're giving them the opportunity to go into the community, go to the Kotu stream, and try to map out what are the problems, within the Kotu stream.
Professor Herbert Robinson, Vice Chancellor of UTG, emphasized the significance of being part of this national project. He acknowledged the challenging nature of the Kotu stream environment, but reassured the minister that the university will dedicate its expertise to ensure the research achieves practical and sustainable results.
If you look at the community side of it, the university will be doing some community profiling, looking at the settlements, how they have evolved over time, but looking at vulnerable groups, looking at how we can help address the challenges that they currently face. So we're really excited to be part of this.
Rohi John Manjang, the Minister for Environment, emphasized the government's support for WACA and its initiatives along the Kotu stream. She highlighted recent flood response efforts and noted that collaboration with UTG ensures locally grounded solutions that complement the work of external consultants.
Young people are very talented and they're very skilled. they come up with information that you would not even imagine, because now technology has expanded people's thinking capacity, and then they have been into their own style. So we look forward to that information coming up to guide us, but also to tell us as to what we can do better to remedy matters of flood in this country.
The Waka-UTG partnership marks a major step toward sustainable management of the Kotu stream. Reporting for QTV News, I am Julde Yai.
Coming up next is Sport News. After a Tuesday tour of the Independence Stadium by stakeholders and the media to review ongoing renovations, we highlight key upgrades to prepare the venue for domestic and international matches. And Sumana Isonyasi tells us more.
Supervised by the technical committee, the project aims to restore the Independence Stadium's eligibility to host CAF-sanctioned international matches. Previously declared non-compliant, the facility is undergoing major structural safety and accessibility upgrades. Notably, the seating capacity has been reduced to 12,000 from earlier estimates of 25,000, prioritizing safety, crowd management and compliance with CAF and FIFA standards. Minister Baji stresses that the reduced capacity is necessary to meet modern safety regulations and secure approval for international events.
In the final safety inspection, they recommended that we need to have this because they have added those as a requirement for new stadiums to have. So this is more like if there is an issue on the stands or there's an emergency, not everybody can exit through the normal route that they came in. Others can be able to use the staircases to come down for easy access to assemble in the middle of the pitch.
Among other things, the Youth and Sports Minister said the stadium is being fitted with multiple new emergency exits to improve crowd control and allow quick evacuation, in line with CAF and international safety standards. Surveillance is also being upgraded with the installation of 40 additional CCTV cameras to ensure full coverage of spectator areas, entrances, exits and the pitch. For the first time, the stadium will include dedicated facilities for persons with disabilities, including a specially designed accessibility platform with ramps and reserved seating, meeting CAF inclusivity requirements and significantly improving accessibility.
In the past, people with disability or those physically challenged would normally come in with their wheelchair and sit around underneath the pavilion. Now that CAF is changing now that we must have a designated area for them. If a stadium was constructed from the onset, it will normally have it somewhere on top and they can use the elevator and go up. In stadiums like this, then you have to create a platform for them.
The renovation also includes upgrading the athletics track to international standards, allowing the stadium to host regional track and field events and improve training for Gambian athletes. Engineers from the Ministry of Works are overseeing the project, with lead consultant Ibrahim Akoli confirming that the hybrid grass pitch is being reinforced with modern turf technology, improved drainage and irrigation for better durability and playability. This will be followed by a final inspection by CAF before the stadium can host official matches.
In just a few days' time, we will start the seeding. The artificial turf that is there before is there. We did not remove it. We just add some sand on top of it to have a reinforcement and put new seed on it.
The Independence Stadium, the Gambia's primary sports venue since its opening in 1984, and despite a major renovation in 2011, fell short of CAF and FIFA standards, resulting in bans on international matches. The phased renovation, launched in 2022, addresses these gaps. Once completed, the upgraded stadium will be able to reclaim its status as a premier venue for national and international sporting and other events, offering a modern, safe and inclusive facility for athletes and spectators, while enhancing the Gambia's profile in West African sports. Antoine Nyasi for KTV News.
That story brings us to the end of this news bulletin, but before we go, here's a recap of the headlines. In fulfillment of a pledge made in November 2025, the Q Group, through its chairman, Mohamed Jah, today presented to the Ministry of Higher Education with checks worth $15 million to support higher education, research and innovation in the Gambia. Authorities in the Gambia have intercepted more than 780 irregular migrants in January so far, with the month not even halfway through at 3 different locations in the country. The European Union, in partnership with Catholic Relief Services, the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, and the Gambia Federation for Persons with Disabilities, today launched the Disability Inclusive Pathways Project in the Gambia. The West Africa Coastal Areas Resilience Investment Project 2, WACA, has handed over research materials and equipment to the University of the Gambia to support local research addressing flooding, erosion, and pollution along the Kotu stream. In sports news, after a Tuesday tour of the Independence Stadium by stakeholders and the media to review ongoing renovations, we highlight key upgrades to prepare the venue for domestic and international matches. That's all for this news bulletin. Join us again at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. Thanks for watching.